Hi guys, welcome to the Bluegrass Benchwarmers, NB3Media.com. My main man Petey here with us. We're going to talk Cincinnati Reds. Just finished up the Louisville Bats show. Check that out on the Louisville Bats page. Just sitting here looking at it, I counted up the 25-man roster and there was 32 on there still. So I go to the Reds app and I see Jose Peraza, Roman Cabrera, option, and flurry of moves. So I'll read a little bit of that from here from Mark Sheldon, the MLB.com beat writer for the Reds. Infielder Jose Peraza and catcher Roman Cabrera were optioned to AAA Louisville. So we will see them down there too as well. Like I said, we just finished up the bats.
Yeah.
Talking about the bats and
Peraza was there.
so with the bats having 3 catchers, Cabrera coming down, one of them guys will be moved.
Yeah.
Probably start the season off in Pensacola or rookie ball somewhere down there.
Yeah.
Jose Peraza, look to see him start every single day. We talked about Beamer Weems a little bit down in Louisville, shortstop.
Yeah.
He's not probably, Peraza was originally a shortstop, and I think when he was with the Dodgers, he was the up-and-coming second baseman. So I'm not sure if that's, you know how it is in AAA.
Yeah, he might throw
You
him
got
out
the
there.
you got the athletic guy that plays shortstop one day, second one day, third one day,
Yeah.
the outfield. So
Yep.
Peraza is definitely that, and I see Peraza. I think when they made the trade for Frazier, Peraza was one of the guys they looked at to replace Phillips because they didn't know how Phillips was going to do
Mhm.
or where he was going to go.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, because he had his options, and of course he chose to stay in Cincinnati because one, he loves it there. He does a lot for the community and all that. So
Mhm.
I was happy to see Brandon Phillips stay. So
Yep.
starting pitcher Tim Melville and reliever Dion Diaz were also reassigned to Louisville. So look for their what did we say? There was only 10 on the
Yeah,
bats. There was only 10
yeah.
pitchers on there, so that'll add 12. Still need more than that because pretty much that's only 5 starters, 7 bullpen. You definitely need more than that. With Jumbo Diaz being up there, Jumbo Diaz was the closer a long time for the bats.
Mhm.
Called up to the Reds when Chapman got hurt.
Mhm.
So Diaz was the closer, but it's pretty much already been said that J.J. Hoover has now stepped into the closer role. So Jumbo Diaz will probably just be an 8th inning guy, setup guy,
Setup, yeah.
maybe. So a lot of moving parts here. So going on with the article, it said Mark Sheldon, MLB.com, Cincinnati Reds beat writer. Retroactive to March 25th, starting pitchers Anthony DeSclafani, John Lamb, Michael Lorenzen, and John Moscott were all placed on the 15-day DL. That hurts. John Lamb was in the talks of being one of the starters. DeSclafani there for a while was probably going to be our opening day starter. He went down, so now they've said Raisel Iglesias will be. And I'm sure it was a hard option for Price to choose between them two because they're both hard throwing righties.
Yep.
I think Iglesias has better breaking stuff, but DeSclafani definitely has a better changeup. Excuse me. Outfielder Yorman Rodriguez was placed on the 15-day DL retroactive to March 27th. So that only gives him, I guess, less than a little bit over a week. Catcher Kyle Skipworth, also on the 15-day DL, retroactive to March 31st. He's one of the ones I had mentioned that was probably not going to be there, but it looks like now with Cabrera being announced, being sent back to Louisville, so it looks like it's going to be Tucker Barnhart, Devin Mesoraco to start the season,
Yep.
with Skipworth starting on the DL. It says here, DeSclafani is still expected to be ready by April 10th to take the 5th starter spot role and to pitch against the Pirates. So
Awesome. That's
that's pretty good. Utility player Jordan Pacheco has made the team, and his contract was selected, even though he was just on the Bats roster. And I said we know it's still all up in the air. We can check. You can check the websites or the apps on every 5 minutes, and they're going to change probably today, being opening day tomorrow for the Reds.
Yep.
What else? Outfielder Tyler Holt, who was cut from the spring roster last week, was recalled by AAA Louisville, which is a great move. Tyler Holt is an up-and-coming outfielder as well. The reason the final opening day roster is not official is because the Reds have yet to make a move to put Homer Bailey on the disabled list. That will be done officially on Monday. Homer's still coming back from his injury from last year, which has been a very, very long time. I hope he gets healthy soon because he's definitely our ace right now. If you look at the pitching staff of the Reds, man, it's birthdays. Homer Bailey was born in '86. Diaz was '84. I didn't realize he was that young. Ross Ollendorf was a late signed by the Reds. He got cut by. I know he used to pitch for Pittsburgh. He was just released by somebody not too long ago, last week maybe. That's a good pickup for him. I mean, I want to say he was an all-star one year. I can't remember with the Pirates. Very intelligent guy. I remember ESPN did a piece on him about how intelligent he was. He was like, went to Harvard, MIT, and all kinds of stuff. Very intelligent guy, but doesn't really matter how smart you are if you can't pitch. So apparently he's got it all. Alfredo Simon, who was just brought back, is probably the oldest guy on the pitching staff, and that's only 30. What does that make him? 36, 34. Makes him 34. He turns 35 on May 8th. So when your oldest pitcher is 35 years old,
Yeah.
and your ace was born in '86, so 5 years older than that. What did I just say? He was 34. So Homer Bailey's 29. His birthday's also in May, so he'll be 30.
Mm-hmm.
So our ace, who is on the disabled list, is that old. It's good to say, especially with the up and coming talent you got. Just going through their. Let me see. I was trying to make sure this. Okay, they do have a breakdown on the Reds roster here. So, okay, with Tim Melville not on the club, the Reds still need to select a starting pitcher for Thursday's game. Okay, I don't know what that means. They've already selected Rocio Iglesias as their starter. A breakdown of the Reds roster right now. Position players, there's 13. You got Joey Votto, who will start at first base. Also a candidate for NL MVP already.
Really?
Just real quick about Joey Votto. I've watched the spring training games televised. I've watched all of them, bits and pieces. Okay, I can't lie. I'm not gonna say I sat down and watched all of them because when they started replacing the starters and stuff, I was kind of like, well, I'm gonna see how this guy does. You know, Adam Duvall being one of them. Keep an eye on that kid. He's gonna be awesome. He's supposed to be on the roster here. Yeah, he is. But Joey Votto seems to be having so much fun this year. Jim Day, you know, Reds fans will know the tie between Jim Day and Brandon Phillips. Brandon Phillips always making fun of Jim Day, and Jim Day has just started giving it back to him now at this point. But they spoke to Joey Votto in the dugout during one of the games, and Jim Day was just a couple questions. Joey, blah blah blah. He asked him a couple questions, and you know, Joey Votto being the professional that he is, a lot of players have kind of said he kind of acts like a stuck-up superstar. Blah blah. He's not like that. For those of y'all that remember, his dad died 3 years ago now, and it was very emotional for him. He had anxiety, had to be medicated, all this, that, and this stuff, you know, because it was real hard on him. He also had a case of vertigo, which you know a lot about vertigo with your mother being dizzy all the time. With all that being done, I think he's finally getting back to the fun of baseball.
I think he enjoys the young. He enjoys.
Yeah. He's getting in that role now where he's looking around like, man, I'm the oldest. You know, one of the oldest guys that have been here the longest besides BP. And, you know, so he's like, I think he's trying to embrace that leadership role. Because last year, you remember, they were trying to push that role on Todd Frazier, and he really didn't want it either. Because they're all young guys; they don't want to be the old man in the clubhouse, so to speak. But Jim Day was kind of asking Joey Votto some questions. Asked him 2 questions, and then you know, Jim Day kind of looked at the camera and was like, "Okay, back to you guys." And then the camera stayed there, and Votto looked at Jim Day and was like, "That's it? Really? That's all you're gonna ask me?" So Jim Day was like, "Okay, let's keep going." You know, and they kept going, and it looked like Joey was having so much fun. Even on the field, warm-ups, you see him, he's joking around, he's dancing. There's a lot of videos with him dancing. He's just trying to be a prankster, jokester now. Hopefully he keeps that up, and he's the leader that they need this year.
I think he enjoys being that leader role.
I think he does now. I don't think he did at the time, because a lot of, you know, he was, like I said, he was down.
He's going through some stuff.
Yeah, he was going through a lot of stuff. So I think watch Joey Votto. He's going to be the leader of this team. He will be an NL MVP candidate, and I hope he can bring that back to Cincinnati. So, sorry, I'm like caught in between sneezes here. All right, back to the position players. Brandon Phillips, of course, will be man in second again. Thank goodness. Thank God he came back.
Yeah.
Zach Cozart, I'm very excited to have Cozart back. When he was down in Louisville, you know, a homegrown player from the Reds that he is, I was kind of skeptical about him. I was like, I don't know, he just doesn't look like he has it. Man, he's got the bat, he's got the arm, he's very athletic. He can move right to left. Suffered that bad injury last year, just running out a routine ground ball to first. I can't remember if it was his knee or what it was, but very glad to have him back. Eugenio Suarez is the replacement for Todd Frazier over at third. Hated to see Todd Frazier go, but what they got out of him, I'm excited about. Anytime you can get two of the top 5 talents coming up through somebody else's farm system, you know, through somebody else.
Yeah.
You know, like Frazier went to the White Sox sent stuff to the Dodgers sent stuff to us. So that was great. But Eugenio Suarez is kind of weird to me because they traded Alfredo Simon to Detroit for him, and Crawford, I believe, was a pitcher. I don't even know where he's at now. But he was an up-and-comer from Detroit, a young pitcher. But now they're both back on the Reds.
Yeah.
So that's what I said earlier about Alfredo Simon was, it was like we put him on loan.
Yeah.
We're like, here, Detroit, you need a starter. Here's a provable starter. Because he picked up the slack that year when Cueto went down. Simon stepped into that starting role. We needed him and went 14-10 or something.
Yeah, he did pretty well.
Had like a 3.1 ERA. He was amazing. So that's one thing I like about baseball.
Yeah.
You know, you can do that. And like I said, Simon is probably the oldest pitcher. Yeah, 1981. And now he's back, and he's probably going to be the first righty out of the bullpen. If not, I don't think he'll be a starting pitcher for us again with the young people we have. But with having those 4 out that I mentioned earlier, DeSclafani, Lamb, Lorenzen, and Moscott, because Michael Lorenzen and DeSclafani both pitched a lot for the Reds last year. 64, they set a major league record, 64 games started in a row with a rookie pitcher.
Yeah.
The major league record, which I didn't mind last year because at the point when they started doing it, the Reds were already they weren't in the gutter.
Yeah.
But it's good to have that. Like, okay, look, we're going to throw you guys out there now, get this experience, see what these batters do, understand this level of baseball. Because one thing they say about baseball, just like any other sport, especially like college football, you know, when college football players go to the NFL, they're like, oh my God, it's so much faster. In baseball, I've heard that it seems to go by fast, but the game is slow to a lot of, especially pitchers. All right, getting off track. Just slap me when I get off track.
Sorry.
The guy, man in the outfield and center field, Billy Hamilton, coming off of, I don't think the guy's had a healthy season yet. It's always been something. This year he's coming off a shoulder.
Yeah.
Our
right shoulder?
Yes.
Right shoulder.
Yes. He's had the jammed fingers,
Yeah.
the shoulder.
His wrist.
I want to say his shoulder was first aggravated for diving after a ball, but then he re-injured it sliding, and they've said stop sliding head first.
Yeah.
You know, go in there feet first and just slide. And he's one of them players that doesn't want to seem like he's coming in there hot, you know, to like the old Chase Utley.
Yeah.
But I'm like, you can do the same thing going head first, and you're just gonna hurt yourself.
Yeah.
Which, you know, I'm not saying that it's cool to hurt other players, but Major League Baseball has a reputation. Billy Hamilton will be starting. I think they said Brian Price released the other day that he will be batting 8th. I don't like that at all, but he's not hitting the way he should be. And Brian Price told him, you're going to be batting down here until you get it together.
Yeah.
We want you in the leadoff spot.
Yeah.
But he's putting the pressure on Hamilton to get back to what he needs to do. Hit the ball on the ground.
Yeah.
Hit the ball on the ground, bunt the ball, do something, and stop popping up.
Get on base.
Yeah, stop Willie Mays hazing it and popping up all the time. And it's not like he's doing it on purpose,
Yeah.
you know, but, you know, he's just got to get that swing down to where he's on top of the ball and it goes on the ground and he outruns it. Look for him to probably be the top base stealer again with the Reds, if not in the National League. Adam Duvall, Duvall, I can't remember how, one of the spring training games, they talked to him and he said that everybody's pronouncing his name wrong. It's not Duvall, it's Duvall, or it's something real weird. I can't remember how he said it, but he's Adam Duvall to me. Look for him. He's going to be a very, very utility. He's going to be the next Christopher Negron. He's going to be the outfielder, infielder, wherever they need him. Everyday guy. Guy hits with power. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he's the leading guy coming off the bench in home runs, RBI maybe. Johnny Gomes. He's going to be the Johnny Goal. Johnny Gomes is pretty much just an outfielder, but the bat. He's got the power. He can play. He's just an overall great player. Louisville Cardinal prodigy, I hate to say, but you know he's homegrown Louisville kid.
Yep.
So that's good to hear out of the state of Kentucky. Jay Bruce, a big surprise to me coming back this year. There were several times that they were 85% done with a trade for Bruce, and then something fell through, not on his part, just other medical things with people they were going to get. He'll be starting out right for sure. Devin Mesoraco will be back. His bat, his game command and calling the game behind the plate was missed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Tucker Barnhart did a great job. Ryan Payne did a good job last year. So Devin Mesoraco is our all-around catcher now. He's our leader, the oldest catcher, I should say, being born in '88. Yeah, so he's our oldest catcher, being not even. What is that? You need to help me with the math here. Is that 27 years old? 26. His birthday's in July or June. So 26-year-old catcher, calling the games, being our veteran catcher. That's the word I was looking for, veteran. Tucker Barnhart, of course, the backup. Ivan DeJesus, utility infielder, can play second, short, third base. Got some speed, great hitter. I want to say he's a switch hitter. No, he's a right-handed batter. Good guy to come off the bench. Scott Shebler. This guy will probably be starting left field for us. It'll probably be Shebler in left, Hamilton in center, and Bruce in right to start the season. Shebler came over from the Dodgers. It was Shebler, Peraza. I can't remember the pitcher. I'm telling you, we got great bats, gloves, and pitching out of Todd Frazier. I hated to see Frazier go. Like I said, it was a last minute. What? Todd Frazier? They're shopping Todd Frazier?
Mm-hmm.
When you first heard word about Frazier going to be traded, Walt Jocketty came out and said this is while I think Jocketty was still like GM or had a lot to do with the GM before Dick Williams took over, but Jocketty said, we are not putting calls out there for Todd Frazier. We are accepting calls, but it has to be the best deal. He said, we have to get the best deal out of it. And then when I heard it, I was like, well, let's see, Peraza, Shebler, and I can't remember the pitcher off the top of my head, but I started looking into it. You know, your first reaction is like, not Todd Frazier.
Yeah.
He's our all-star, home run derby champ. You know, he's just all-around good guy. And not to say that none of these three aren't, but you don't know what they can be yet. But man, when I started looking into them, I was like, these guys are the real. You remember I told you, I was like, hey, I mean, at first glance, you're like, God, you know, my wife was like, Becca was like, I'm done with the Reds. I'm done. I'm like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
Like you're right now. You're out of
It's all
frustration.
season.
Yeah, it'll be okay. Tyler Holt, they got him on here, and Jordan Pacheco. Even though Jordan Pacheco was on there, he'll probably start the season off with Skipworth being down or whatever. They only have 3 starting pitchers listed right now, and I see Alfredo Simon on there, and I don't think Alfredo Simon is going to be on there right now. They have Iglesias, of course, as opening day starter tomorrow. Brandon Finnegan, the lefty. That might have been who they got for Frazier. No, Brandon Finnegan was he was earlier. Oh, Cueto. He was part of the Cueto trade.
Yeah.
Brandon Finnegan, John Lamb. I want to say we got 3 pitchers for Cueto, but off the top of my head, I can't remember. I wish there was a button on here how he was acquired, but there's not. But I want to say Brandon Finnegan, Cody Reed, and John Lamb. We got 3 lefties out of Cueto. I loved that deal too. The Reds were hard up on lefty pitchers, and we got 3 great pitchers. Cody Reed, remember that name. Brandon Finnegan's here now. John Lamb is going to start the season on the DL. They're both the real deal. Cody Reed coming up, you'll hear his name. He'll be a starter next season for the Reds in the top of the if they try to move him. In the bullpen, they got J.J. Hoover, Tony Cingrani, Jumbo Diaz, Caleb Cotham, Kavia Sampson, John Straley, and Ross Ollendorf and Blake Wood. Dan Straley, they just picked up off of waivers yesterday or the day before. It was Friday, Thursday or Friday, Saturday? Okay, was it? Okay.
Yeah.
They picked him off waivers from somebody. Padres dropped him. They also picked up our homegrown talent here, Stevie Delabar was released by the Blue Jays. The Reds signed him to a 1-year deal. They're going to start him in Louisville at AAA. Look for him to be up. I mean, I'm not going to say quick, but as soon as that first guy starts slacking in the Reds bullpen or the first injury, I would see Delabar maybe coming up. Just coming out of the bullpen.
Yeah.
Just the bullpen guy. If it's a starter that goes down, no, it's going to be somebody else. But just looking at the Reds pitching, DeSclafani being out, Caleb Cotham coming out of the bullpen. Tony Cingrani was picked to be a starter a couple years ago with the Reds, and then it didn't work out too great, so we went back to the bullpen. He's a great guy coming out of the bullpen, but he is also a good fill-in if a starter can't go one day and Price wants to keep the rotation the same days they were. Jumbo Diaz, of course, out of the bullpen. He'd probably be the setup guy.
Yep.
Brandon Finnegan. I think Finnegan's going to be in the starting rotation. Rocio Iglesias. John Lamb could. He said he's on the DL. Michael Lorenzen will be. He's on the DL. John Moscott pitched in Louisville last year. So, right now, man, they're hard up for starting pitching. Which,
Yeah.
You can't even set a 5-man rotation right now. I'm guessing now, Alfredo Simon, looking at all this, Alfredo Simon may have to start the third or so odd game. Who did I read a minute ago? They said that would be ready. DeSclafani.
Yeah.
DeSclafani will be the fifth.
Yeah.
So
Partners on the rotation.
coming into the season fresh, he would have been number 1, number 2.
Yeah.
Which,
Yeah.
when he comes back healthy, he's going to be the number 1 or 2. But starting in the 5th spot.
Yeah.
Which is only because of the injury.
Because of injuries. Yeah. Because of he was placed on UVL.
Yes. So I can't remember what he did, but it was major enough for him not to be ready to be an opening day starter, which he should have been. Well, Iglesias, they're both they're both in the same
Good.
spot. Yeah. They still have Jake Cave on here. He was a guy I hated to see them let go, but he was the Rule 5 draft off the Yankees, selected from the Yankees, and one of those out of option guys. I would have loved to see him come. He started out the season hot in spring training, and then just dropped. But he was one of them guys. He was either going to make the 25-man or nothing. He didn't have any other options, so they didn't really see it out of him. But I would not be surprised if the Yankees were to waive him, or whatever happens now after this process. The Reds would probably go after him, or somebody else. The guy is talented. He's got a good bat. Center fielder, I believe. He was going to be a base stealer. I just had him up here and something went wrong, but he's just one of those guys. 23-year-old, 6 foot, 200 pounds, bats left, throws left. 6th round pick of the Yankees in 2011. What's some of his stats? Where's his stolen bases? Where's his games? Alright, he wasn't the one I was thinking about, stolen bases. So, but anyways, he would have been a great overall AAA guy at least. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Yankees moved on him and did something else that the Reds would remember what he did the first part of spring training and give him a shot. But so my projections are, you got Cozart's, let's see, going by base, going by position in the lineup and position. I think I saw somewhere that Price is gonna start Cozart at short, batting number 1,
Yep.
and then
I could see that our left fielder going 2, and then they said that Phillips and
Shepard.
Votto were the 3 and 4.
yeah, Votto was the 3. You're probably, I think you're right about Schebler. It was Cozart. It might have been Suarez.
Well,
I
the
can't
only reason I
remember.
said that was because Shebler in
Can't
spring
remember.
training had an 8.97 on base percentage.
Wow.
For what they had first, I don't know, I said like 15, maybe 16 games or something like that.
Yeah.
He had that high of a on base percentage.
Yeah. I mean, and Cozart's bad. I mean, Cozart's got the pop. He's a line drive hitter. So Cozart,
No doubt, Cozart's the one.
yeah. I could see Schebler or Suarez.
Yeah.
And then Votto being 3rd, Phillips being the 4. I don't see how you could not have Bruce maybe at the 5th. At the 5th spot.
Yeah, well the big
Or Mesoraco.
Oh, I'd go Mesoraco
Yeah.
5, probably Bruce 4,
is-
or
Bruce
Bruce
is
6.
7 would be,
7 is probably either one or
Suarez or
2.
Schebler, yeah.
And then
Hamilton. And then
Pitcher.
Iglesias. Who's not a bad hitter, but
Well, shoot, at that
That's-
spot, you're
yeah.
coming back around to Cozart.
yeah.
BM's probably gonna get on base. So
Yeah.
you got people on bases for moving runners and stuff, so.
Yep. And then I wouldn't be surprised like day 3 or day 4 of the season you don't see Duvall out there playing somewhere.
Yeah, I
Give somebody a
definitely
break.
fill him in.
Yeah.
It's definitely a good utility.
Yep.
Definitely a good utility.
So yeah, so a lot of people were saying predicting the Reds to finish last. And I don't want to believe them. But even if it is a bad season, I mean the future is bright in
Yeah.
Cincinnati.
We're young.
Yeah, the Pirates. I just want to say this. Thank God Houston went to the Central or American League
Yeah. Yeah.
because them boys are coming out of nowhere.
Yep.
And they got Altuve, what's his name, Carrera.
Yeah.
Carrera. They've got a lot of young. Who's that other guy? George Springer. I'm just like, man. They're. And I said this about the Cubs 2 years ago.
Yeah.
The Cubs are going to be great when they get all their AAA up,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not going to be next year. But it was last year. They're going to be the hot team. They're going to be the team to beat until they get all that talent to where they all want their money.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that's the thing I love and hate about baseball, because I don't want to. The Cubs, I guess, are a big market. You know, they got the GM from the Red Sox,
Mm-hmm.
young guy. I can't remember his name. But anyways, Theo Epstein.
Yeah.
They got him, the young guy. He can manage money. He knows how to run a ball team. As long as the money's there, I think they'll give it to these guys.
Yep.
But I mean, in Cincinnati, there's just a little bitty hole in between Ohio and Kentucky.
Yeah.
You know, Chicago, I can see Chicago having the money to do it.
Yeah. Bring it on.
So they'll probably be the team to beat in the National League. Besides, of course, the Giants. It's an odd number on the year, so everybody's projecting the Giants to do good because them fools always win on
Mhm.
odd number years. So 2016. But sticking with the Central, the Cubs. Then who was it? The Pirates,
No, Cardinals,
Cardinals. See, I don't think.
Reds.
I just don't see the Pirates coming off the year that they did 2 years ago. They are falling off. I don't know, was it last year? Last year it was the Reds and the Brewers there at the end, and the Pirates, right? Because the Cardinals ended up.
Yeah,
ended up about.
it was
So
Cubs, Cardinals, Pirates, Brewers, and Reds.
Okay. So the Cardinals always do it with these. I don't want to say no-name guys,
Mm-hmm.
but they do it so quiet and classy. Well,
Yeah.
their organization overall is classy. but you just don't like it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just being Reds fans, you don't like it.
Enjoy it.
But they do it so quietly. They do it with guys you've never heard of, and then boom, next thing you know, the All-Star game's announced, and half of them are Cardinals. And you're like,
Yeah.
all right, which we'll have a discussion about the fan voting later
Yeah.
on another show. I hate that one, but the Cardinals, yeah, they'll probably be there, but I don't see the Cardinals getting past the Cubs this year. The Pirates will be right there on. Honestly, I'm gonna pick the Reds above the Brewers,
Mm-hmm.
but they're not gonna be up there with the Pirates, Cardinals, or Cubs.
Mm-hmm.
I hate to say it, but it's just truth. But it's a building year. Everybody knows it. It came sooner than we thought it was going to, but it looks promising. Especially with the talent we got coming up. We got great pitching coming up through the ranks. We're gonna have great pitching this year. DeSclafani, Iglesias, Lamb, Finnegan. I mean, we're gonna be good. And then you still got Stevenson, Garrett. You got Cody Reed. You got a lot down in AAA, AA right now still that are big prospects on everybody's list coming up. What you got?
Okay, so just released on Twitter, like just a little bit ago. It was 20 minutes ago, opening day roster for the Reds, and Pachenko is our third catcher.
Pacheco.
Yeah,
Okay.
Pacheco's the third catcher.
All right.
They have,
So it's Mr. Rocco, Barnhart.
yeah, Barnhart, Mesoraco,
Yeah.
Pacheco.
'Cause
12 pitchers, Homer Bailey, Cotham, Jumbo Diaz, J.J. Hoover, Iglesias, Ollendorf, Sampson, Simon, Dan Straley, Wood, Cingrani, and Finnegan. I'm not sure if they added those DLs, but infielders, Cozart, DeJesus Jr., BP, Suarez, and Joey Votto. Outfielders, they have Duvall as an outfielder.
We can do it all though.
Yeah, it's utility. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jay Bruce, Billy Hamilton, Tyler Holt, and Scott Shetler as their little things.
Huh.
They do have the DL on the bottom of this.
Okay. I was like, didn't we just read somewhere
Yeah.
else that they said Holt was down in?
Yep. No, no. Holt isn't on this list.
Oh, I thought you just said Holt.
No. Yeah, Holt says right here, but not on the DL. DL is Steve Sclafani, John Lamb, Marinzin, John Mascot, Yorman Ramirez, and Kyle Skipworth is the ones they have on this.
Alright. So it sounds good.
This is, yeah, released by the Reds Twitter page. And it looks like it is a Ramsey blog.
Okay. Alright, sounds good. So pretty much
So it's pretty much the same
We
thing.
can
Just
wait,
a couple ads in, yeah, names that
we
were.
can wait till tomorrow and see the opening day roster and
Yep. As of April 3rd was that. So as of today.
alright, so yeah, my stupid Twitter's being stupid. Stupid. But that sounds good. We're also going to be, let's see, we've got the Bats Media Day on Wednesday.
Yep.
Hopefully I'll be getting the Bats vouchers soon.
Awesome. Wait. I thought you already had that.
No, not yet.
Oh.
They don't come until later.
Gotcha.
What's the other thing? We will be doing some radio with our local 101.5 WIEL WTHX 101.5 ESPN radio here in E-Town. I might be going over there Wednesday. I don't know yet. The Neppy Van Zant show from 5 to 6. A shout out. We've actually had Russ on the show before talking basketball. Talking Kentucky basketball.
Yes,
thing.
basketball. Yeah.
So check that out. Joe Neppy, I haven't met him yet, but I might be going over there on Wednesday. We might be getting some special things from excuse me, from those guys as giveaways. So just check out the show. I'm gonna do all of our giveaways on Facebook this year because we're actually getting a good response on the website now. Because before I wanted to do everything through the website, but
Mm-hmm.
check out our Facebook page, Bluegrass Bench Warmers. on Twitter at BG Benchwarmers. And that's it, man. We're ready for some baseball.
Oh yeah.
Who's the opening day tonight? Or opening night tonight?
Mets, somebody.
Okay.
Hold on.
So baseball starts tonight, but the biggest opening day in baseball, in my opinion, and a lot of people's opinion,
It's
in
tomorrow.
In Cincinnati. First pitch is at 4 or something?
4:10.
Okay, 4:10 tomorrow. Iglesias against, who'd you say was the guy's name?
Hold on, I can't think of his name.
I know. We just said, we've been going through all kinds of names here lately.
Heckleson. Jeremy Heckleson.
So, starting off with the Phillies, and then they take Tuesday off, and then we get back to the grind on Wednesday. So, good luck to Cincinnati and Louisville this year. We'll definitely be watching.
Yep.
And so, who opens tonight?
It
Next
is Cardinals Pirates are playing right now. Blue Jays Rays play at 4, and Mets Royals play at 8:30, and then the Cubs and Angels just are starting to play right now. Bottom of the first.
All right. So, good luck to all those guys. Good luck to everybody in Major League Baseball, because this is my favorite time of the year. So,
No doubt.
it's not March Madness. March Madness is a close second.
No. Yeah. Definitely close second.
Well, I would say nowhere near second, or nowhere near the top spot. It's
Yeah.
like baseball, then March Madness, then probably football's first day. Because I'm not really a big college football guy, but I like bowl games and stuff, but it doesn't compare to March Madness. So definitely spring, even though the allergies are starting to kick in and
Yep.
I'm getting all stuffy, and Kentucky doesn't know what weather it wants to do every day. Yesterday we almost had a tornado.
Yep.
2 weeks ago it was snowing.
Yeah.
And it was just,
Yep.
and it was 80 in the same week.
Yeah.
We got up to 80 one day and then it was 32 the next and snowing. So we look forward to a lot of baseball. Anything else?
No, I'm good. I'm good. Got all my inputs in there.
All right, guys, thanks for checking us out.
Peace.